A post-80s boss from Tangshan won a 2007 Volkswagen Beetle in a round of mahjong. But when he got the car, his excitement instantly turned cold. The exterior paint was full of scratches and dents, and the lower edge of the right front door was badly rusted. The headlights were yellowed and cloudy, and even the right front fog light was covered in rust. The interior was in even worse shape. The leather seats in the back looked like they'd been chewed to bits by a husky. The heavy rear structure had even split the seams of the seats, and the door panels had started peeling off in frustration. The engine puffed and groaned like it was complaining about its fate. The humidity from the coastal air had caused serious rust underneath, and even the old automatic transmission would only shift gears under the roar of the engine. The owner had just one request: restore the Beetle without spending much and make it ready to run for another 10 years. The restoration plan was as follows: engine fine-tuning and overhaul, upgrading the transmission from 4-speed to 6-speed, full chassis restoration, exterior repaint in emerald smoke water-based paint, complete interior renovation. All right, today we'll start by disassembling the engine. Let's find out where all that resentment inside is coming from.
This inline 4-cylinder 2.0-liter engine was once used in many models, such as the Passat and Tiguan. Its biggest advantages are strong power, quick acceleration, and extremely low failure rates. It's a tough and reliable engine. However, fuel consumption in city driving is relatively high, about 1 yuan per kilometer, though it's quite economical on the highway. Once this little Beetle is fully restored and refurbished, it's definitely going to be the coolest ride on the street. After splitting the engine from the chassis, we'll begin disassembling it to see what's going on inside.
After removing some of the engine components, we found that there wasn't much sludge or carbon buildup inside. From this, it's likely that the internal wear of the engine isn't too serious. All right then, let's keep disassembling the engine and see what else we find.
After completely disassembling the engine, we found that the cylinder liners had excessive wear clearance, and all the pistons showed varying degrees of abrasion. This was the main cause of the excessive exhaust and poor performance. The valve stem seals were also severely aged. In this condition, the engine was definitely burning oil. To fix the cylinder liner wear, we performed CNC machining and installed new cylinder sleeves, followed by precision honing to restore the standard crosshatch pattern. This process brought the cylinders and pistons back to their proper fit clearance. Now that all engine components have been thoroughly cleaned, we can begin reassembling this 2.0-liter 4-cylinder Beetle engine.
The Beetle has gone through 3 generations of development, and each one can truly be called a classic.
Its compact, rounded, and adorable design has made it especially popular among young women. At the same time, this little car is incredibly fun to play with. Its customization and modification potential are impressive. I firmly believe that once we finish restoring and refreshing this Beetle, it will capture the hearts of many car enthusiasts and restoration fans alike. We want to assemble this 2.0-liter engine properly. It's simple in principle, but making its lifespan truly long requires extra care. We need to assemble it carefully and with microscopic attention to detail, and be rigorous when choosing between improved aftermarket parts and original factory parts. One more very important point is the maintenance and usage after a major overhaul. All of these affect the engine's longevity. With the hard work of our technicians, the 2.0-liter engine of this Beetle has now been fully assembled. However, the owner from Tangshan still had doubts about the power of this 2007 Volkswagen Beetle and wanted to modify the engine to boost its performance. After several test drives, we found that the engine's power output was actually fine. The real issue lay in the old 4-speed automatic transmission. Its comfort and shifting points were poor, and it only managed to change gears under high revs and loud engine roars. Compared with most modern cars, this setup felt noticeably outdated. After some research, I learned more about the Beetle's evolution. The second-generation Beetle, from 1999 to 2007, always came with the 4-speed 01M transmission, the same one used in models like the Jetta, Bora, and Golf at the time. But in 2008, during a minor facelift, Volkswagen phased out the 01M and replaced it with the Japanese Aisin 09G 6-speed automatic. From then on, the old 4-speed 01M was completely retired from all VW transverse platform vehicles. Today, the 09G 6-speed transmission is widely used in models like the Segatar, Magotan, Levita, Tiguan, and Touran. Based on this, I suddenly had a bold, maybe even reckless idea. Upgrade this second-generation Beetle from a 4-speed to a 6-speed transmission. That single idea almost drove me crazy. After discussing it with the owner, he agreed to go ahead with the conversion, though honestly, I had never done it before. After a lot of searching, I realized it was a massive challenge. Even though many VW models use the 09G transmission, their internal structures differ, meaning they can't be swapped or mixed freely. The 09G used in the Beetle in particular is unique and incompatible with those from other models. That meant I had no choice but to find an 09G transmission specifically made for the Beetle. To complete this transmission swap and full restoration, I ended up buying what felt like half a car, including the speed limiter, interior components, seats, and even the powertrain assembly. People who know cars think I'm doing a full modification. Those who don't probably think I'm just flipping used parts. A few days later, the transmission finally arrived. To ensure durability, we decided to completely disassemble and rebuild it. Our goal, turn this 2007 second-generation Beetle into the only one in the country legally equipped with a 6-speed transmission. Alright, let's start by tearing down the gearbox and see what makes this transmission different. After disassembling the 6-speed transmission of the Beetle, we didn't find any serious issues, which shows just how tough and durable the 09G gearbox really is. It has clearly stood the test of both mileage and time. Now that the transmission has been completely taken apart, inspection shows only slight wear on the friction plates and a few marks left by age. Even the sealing rings still maintain excellent elasticity, a true testament to the reliability of this 6-speed 09G transmission.
Now all the components of the transmission have been thoroughly cleaned. Take a look at the cleaning results. Every gear assembly and clutch steel plate has been washed spotless. Everything must be absolutely clean before reassembly. Now let's begin assembling this 6-speed 09G transmission. So, what are the advantages of the 09G transmission? It's designed with a single planetary gear set, combined with a Ravigno gear structure, plus 3 clutch packs and 2 brake bands, all packed into a compact housing. Despite the limited space, it delivers smooth gear shifts and efficiently transfers engine power through both low-speed torque and high-speed precision. In this regard alone, it's already far superior to the older 01M 4-speed transmission. Its biggest downside is simply the higher repair cost compared to the 4-speed gearbox, but apart from that, it's almost all advantages. Below is an overview of how each clutch controls specific gear positions. 10 years ago, anyone who could repair one of these automatic transmissions was considered a master, and for good reason. The 09G is extremely precise inside, and without sufficient experience and theoretical knowledge, repairing an automatic gearbox like this is truly a daunting challenge. After continuous assembly work, the 09G transmission is now fully reassembled. Next, we're moving on to the chassis restoration. Working on the chassis often requires 2 people to coordinate, so I said, let's find someone to give you a hand. But the old man helping me said, no worries, I can handle everything myself. The words had barely left his mouth before this scene happened. Man, you really are something else. Good thing the subframe has strong rigidity. After a quick inspection, it turned out to be a false alarm. The rear axle mounts weren't deformed, but my clothes, hair, underwear, and even my socks got washed in brake fluid. After that little fiasco, we finally got all the chassis parts disassembled. Upon inspection, we found that the electric cooling fan needed replacing. Another unexpected expense for the day. Next, we'll start cleaning, rust removal, sanding, and refinishing. Every component will be repainted and restored to like-new condition.
After a full day of non-stop work, all the chassis components have been completely refurbished. The process was tough and exhausting, but seeing these parts restored to a brand new state made all the effort worthwhile. Every bit of hardship turned into a sense of accomplishment. Now that all the components have been refreshed and checked, it's time to start reinstalling the chassis parts back onto the Beetle.
25,000 moments of effort later, the front suspension of this Volkswagen Beetle isn't much different from the Golf we worked on last time. The front axle uses a MacPherson strut setup, but the rear suspension is completely different. It uses a torsion beam non-independent suspension, similar to the design found on the old Santana and Audi C3 models. The Golf MK6, on the other hand, uses a trailing arm independent suspension, but that's older technology. While it's not as comfortable as modern setups, it's incredibly durable and reliable, perfectly matching the character of this little Beetle. After continuous assembly work, the rear suspension is now complete. Today, we're going to mate the engine and transmission, then install the front suspension and powertrain assembly onto the car. All right, let's get to work.
This Volkswagen Beetle is equipped with a 2.0-liter AJ Code engine. The original setup came with a 4-speed 01M transmission, but we've now upgraded it to a 6-speed 09G ASIN automatic. To complete this swap, I had to study every detail inside and out. The starter motor, speed limiter connector, subframe, power steering lines, and drive shafts are all different. On top of that, we had to replace the engine ECU, transmission ECU, and the speed control module, a massive project that demands both time and technical skill. Without solid know-how, it's simply impossible to pull off. Red Tea Concubine. Your supreme coolness endures through countless trials.
After continuous assembly work, the engine and all suspension components have now been fully installed. But this Volkswagen Beetle 6-speed automatic transmission swap nearly drove me to tears. I couldn't sleep properly for an entire week, my head filled with thoughts of turning a 4AT into a 6AT and all the problems that came with it. The modification process was truly full of obstacles. In this episode, we're going to install and adapt the electrical system for the newly restored 09G transmission so the car can finally get back on the road again. If the previous episodes were about rebuilding the body, then this one is about giving it a soul. The Beetle's speed limiter, engine ECU, and transmission ECU are all mounted on the upper section of the firewall inside the cabin. To modify and reconfigure these modules, we had no choice but to completely strip everything apart until the interior looked like a battlefield.
Now the dashboard has been completely removed. And just look under here. It's truly a hiding place for all kinds of dirt and debris. Dried leaves, dust, mud, you name it, it's got it. Let's give it a thorough cleaning before we move on. Now we've started wiring and replacing the ECU modules. Some of the limiters can still use the original ones from the car, but all the internal wiring in the cabin needs to match the factory spec configurations for the modified setup. To fully understand and correctly connect these circuits, you have to know how to read Volkswagen's factory wiring diagrams and understand the signal flow between different control modules. While working on the electrical conversions, we ran into a lot of challenges. For example, the gear shift control system between the 4-speed and 6-speed setups is completely different. The reverse light signal and its activation method also changed. In the 4-speed system, the neutral safety relay and reverse light relay are combined into one unit. But in the 09G 6-speed system, there's only a neutral safety relay, and the reverse signal must be transmitted through the CAN bus to module J519, which then controls the reverse lights. It took me several days just to sort out these two issues. I've gone through so much trial and error and met quite a few curious onlookers along the way. Finally, all the limiters have been installed and connected. We plugged in both the engine and transmission ECUs. But then came the next challenge, matching the immobilizer control unit. Unfortunately, Volkswagen's main server implemented new restrictions on its anti-theft system a couple of years ago, meaning old engine control units can no longer be unlocked. In other words, the engine couldn't start at all. Thankfully, I had a backup plan. I kept the entire immobilizer set from a Beetle in Hunan. The instrument cluster, engine ECU, and key. We transplanted the entire system over. All right, moment of truth. Ignition! The engine finally roared to life again. That long-lost sound echoing like music to my ears. We put it in gear and, yes, it moves perfectly. Now, about this Beetle's color. I never imagined it would end up in black. Honestly, that shade makes it look less like a beetle and more like a dung beetle. Though the exterior paint had all sorts of issues, the most serious problem was the corrosion inside the panels. Because of that, we had to replace the right front door and part of the frame assembly. Today, we're going to strip off the old paint and let this Beetle shed its worn-out shell to be reborn in royal emerald green. All right then, let's get to work.
Let me tell you, this little Volkswagen Beetle may look small, but it's quite a piece of work. The front and rear fenders are all plastic, and before you can even remove the bumper or fender, you have to take off an entire layer of parts first. The car is tiny, yet every disassembly step is a real hassle. Just look at this. The fender base alone has a whole ring of screws around it. Seems like the Volkswagen engineers were genuinely worried these plastic fenders might run away on their own. The right front door was badly deformed, so we swapped it out with a used one from a donor car. And I've got to say, just look at how solid this door is built, and it even came with the original window frame. What a great deal. Good quality at a fair price. As for the left front door, that one had to be completely stripped down to its bare shell. My sheet metal guy suddenly said he urgently needed to use the restroom. Looked like he was about to wet his pants. So I said, forget it, I'll do it myself. We removed all the outer panels and started taking off the front and rear windshields. Step by step, the little Beetle's transformation continues. Taking off this windshield was really a pain. We sawed it back and forth so many times before finally getting it out. Then I said, hey, you guys might as well take off those two rear quarter windows too. But those two guys didn't say a word. They just bolted straight to the restroom, yelling, wait a second, we can't hold it anymore. Guess they must have had stomach trouble. They didn't even bring toilet paper. So I figured I'd keep working on the base for now. A little while later, they came back to continue removing the glass, sweating like crazy. They said the original factory adhesive was rock hard. After all that pulling, sawing, and tugging, they put on quite the show at the doorway, even snapped the steel wire. And in the end, they accidentally broke the glass. Man, that's what I get for not handing them toilet paper earlier. This was pure revenge. That glass is completely wasted now. The base layer of the paint surface has been completely treated, and we still need to clean some of the trim and cover parts.
The firewall inside the cabin also needs to be thoroughly cleaned. It's unbelievable how many leaves and layers of dust are hiding in there. Without completely disassembling it, there's no way to get it spotless. For Beetles that are over 5 years old, it's like driving around hugging a pile of dirt while singing songs on the road. I bet most girls wouldn't be able to stand a car this filthy.
The firewall's wiring harness and control units have been temporarily reinstalled and will be securely fixed after painting is completed. With the firewall now cleaned, we're removing the radiator frame to clean the radiator in the cooling air system, all to ensure better heat dissipation for the engine.
Next, our nurse makes her appearance, masking the car's exterior. Once the masking is complete, the vehicle is moved into the paint booth for spraying. We're using BASF's Parrot water-based paint, combined with 20 years of painting experience and a top-grade 18,000 yuan spray gun. The spray pattern is perfectly even, allowing the metallic particles to align neatly across the body panels, creating a beautiful play of light and depth. Finally, 2 coats of Parrot clear coat are applied, providing oxidation resistance, high temperature durability, and superior scratch protection.
After the paint job and baking process are complete, the car looks completely transformed, as if reborn. With the painting stage finished, we begin reinstalling all the body panels and trim pieces, carefully adjusting every gap and alignment to ensure a perfect fit.
The headlights weren't working, and the covers had become severely aged, so we replaced them with a brand new set of high-brightness headlights and installed them directly onto the car.
With the interior trim removed, you can clearly see how dirty the bare floor of the cabin is. The original carpet and padding are full of dirt and unpleasant odors, and the wear and damage on the seats are immediately obvious. Next, we'll work on soundproofing and odor removal for this Beetle. We start by removing the old vibration dampening mats using dry ice, then lay down a new layer of dampening mat, followed by fresh padding and an additional layer of thermal insulation. This setup will greatly reduce interior noise and eliminate lingering odors.
The interior team hasn't been idle either. They've been busy cutting and stitching panels, fitting and attaching seat components, and carefully disassembling and reassembling seats.
All tasks, including the installation of trim and other interior elements, are being carried out in an organized and orderly manner.
Using digital smart leather cutting, we can precisely prepare the leather and create the initial patterns. Next, two skilled ladies take over, using electric sewing machines to stitch and process the material. With all the seat covers now fully sewn, it's time to dress and assemble the seats, giving them their final polished appearance.
The headliner, sunroof trim, and A, B, C pillars have all been replaced with black short pile suede material. Next, we installed the speaker covers and reassembled the door panels. Even though the car is small, these interior tasks alone took a full 10 days. The interior design uses multiple types of leather, and combined with replacing plastic components in black, the process is quite systematic and detailed. The inner door handles needed to be upgraded with stainless steel metal components, so the original handles had to be carefully cut and removed. After a series of precise operations, all the interior components have now been fully refurbished. Now we continue with the remaining interior preparation tasks. This project is clearly not a simple job. It requires responsibility, skill, and patience. While ensuring the original parts aren't damaged during removal, every piece of leather must be perfectly applied to restore the interior to its original appearance. This work is much like tailoring. In any craft, mastery in your field comes from skill, precision, and attention to detail. This Beetle requires upgrades to the gear shift lever, handbrake lever, and steering wheel, all of which are made of stainless steel metal. Next, we'll proceed with replacing and installing these upgraded components.
We've now finished installing Booth's side door panels, marking the completion of the interior restoration. Next, we move on to the final paint polishing and surface refinishing. Our goal is to let this Volkswagen Beetle shine from the inside out, bringing back its youthful energy and classic charm. All right, time for the final showcase.